How come thousands of stimulus checks are going to the wrong people, even foreigners, people outside the country, when millions of Americans are still waiting and haven't even gotten their check yet? More importantly, today I want to share with you how to file for a stimulus check for the next 12 months. I'm talking about 12 more stimulus checks in this next year. Check it out. My name's Kris Krohn, and I've been a believer for years that you should be in charge of your own financial future. And with that being said, I just had to make today's video because I do want to show you in the next 12 months how to get 12 more stimulus checks. But first, let's figure out what is going on haywire with stimulus checks right now. Politico just put this out. The IRS mistakenly sends stimulus checks to thousands of foreign workers. Is your financial future really in the hands of a boss? Or worse, the government? I mean, they're screwing it up royally right now. That's your money. Those are your taxpayer dollars. But it gets worse. Check this out from CNET. If the stimulus check tracking system isn't working for you, there are potentially 11 reasons why. Let me just give you a few of the reasons why. Did you know that when you filed for your check, if you put your address in lowercase letters, you're probably not going to get it. Literally, it has to be all in uppercase. The government is like, it's functioning on some type of old mainframe. Many people are speculating and tweeting about all over the internet that literally, like, the government's machinery cannot even read your address unless it's all uppercase. Check this one out. Millions of Americans each year file their taxes using popular programs like H&R Block and TurboTax. But right now there's huge issues with these particular tax devices not syncing up with the government, so they're not actually able to send you your check. And right now they're blaming each other. You've got these two corporations that are blaming the government and basically saying, we gave you everything that you needed, and we've got the government saying, we don't know what to do. Again, that's who we're placing our trust in. Do you really want your financial future in those hands? And this one totally cracks me up. I think it takes the cake. Literally, the website that you're checking on your stimulus check, if you don't check it at the right time of day, the information might be there, it may not be there. I mean, it's a total guessing game. Like, you have to be there at the right time of day. What are our taxpayer dollars actually going towards? This is a wake-up call to every American to really ask themselves, who's in control of my financial future? I want to talk to you right now about what you can do to get 12 more stimulus checks, but not from the government, not from people that are very difficult to rely on. I actually want to show you how to be in charge of your own financial future. With one single move, you can get a stimulus check every month for the next 12 months and beyond if you listen really carefully. I've been creating my own stimulus checks for years. In fact, since 2006, I've been receiving more than $10,000 a month in stimulus checks that I do not need to work for. But I'm going to tell you right now, those checks do not come from the government. I want to show you how easy and simple it is right now, especially because of the coronavirus that gives you an unfair advantage in creating these extra monthly stimulus checks. I call it mailbox money. It means that I go out to my mailbox and there's a check there. And I want to show you how by the time I was 26 years old, I was receiving 250 stimulus checks a year that frankly allowed me to quit my job and live the life of my dreams. It's because I learned that I could not rely on somebody else. Back when I was in college, I wanted to be a doctor, and I was really struggling in my pre-med classes, and so I finally gave up. I listened to my professors and advisors that said, Kris, you're too dumb for chemistry, you're never gonna get it. And when I exited that program, I knew that it was all on my shoulders to find a way to create my financial future. You might literally be watching this thinking, Kris, I feel like it's on my shoulders to create my financial future. Let me show you one thing that I did that made that possible for me. I saved up a very small amount of money and I bought a house. Not to live in, this is a house that I rented out to somebody else. And I didn't just do a straight rental because you know what, you're not watching this thinking, oh, I want to become a landlord. I want to show you what to do with your stimulus check or with the new laws on 401ks and IRAs or how to borrow other money so that you can produce your own monthly stimulus check at a size that you write. You see, this property right here, I purchased it in a way that I was renting it for $1,600 a month, but my actual mortgage was $1,000 a month. And that meant this, there was $600 left over every month that was getting sent to me. And I remember by the time I received this check for the third month in a row that my wife said, Kris, What are we supposed to do with all this extra money? There's $1,800 extra in our bank account. It's like we had been getting these stimulus checks, and they were gonna come in every single month for the next 11 years until we sold that property and made well over $100,000. And at the time I said, honey, what are you doing with the money? She said, well, I just paid off our debt. You might be thinking with your stimulus check, maybe it's a good time to get out of debt. Or you might have more pressing needs like, no, Kris, I need to buy groceries, or I need to put something away so I can feel more secure. I'm gonna share with you the single most important thing you can do to create security for yourself. People say that the best investment you'll ever make in your entire life is the house that you live in. Why? Because it appreciates and goes up in value. I argue that the second most important investment you'll ever make is also into a house, but not one that you live in, one that can actually write you a check every single month. Now you might be wondering, Kris, coronavirus, is now really the time for me to be looking into that? Well, if you're interested in getting a check for $300, $400, $500, $600 every month for the rest of your life, listen up. Did you know right now in this country we have a different crisis? We have a housing shortage crisis, and it's been going on since 2008. We actually have not recovered from the subprime lending bubble burst. Right now, check this out from Freddie Mac. They're estimating that we are missing 3.3 million houses, roofs in this country. That means people are shacked up, people are living together, people are moving in with parents and family and grandparents. The reality is we need more houses right now. Yes, even during a pandemic. Right now, if you look at what happened just prior to the pandemic, more Americans are house rich, but they're leaving that cash in the house. Literally in just one quarter, when equity increased by 4.8% as a whole, that was nationwide $428 billion. So let me help you understand right now the rapid resources that are available to you to actually produce your own stimulus check. Here's some of the resources that you literally have at your fingertips. Number one is that when you buy a house, it does need some type of down payment. I can show you how to buy real estate without money at all, but in general, it can be as much as a 3% down payment, a 10 or a 20% down payment. So how do you actually get the money to produce a stimulus check? Well, number one, you have a stimulus check of your own that might go towards savings or something else, or that you can pool with a family member, and that could give you money for a down payment on buying a house. Number two, one of the most beautiful things that has happened because of COVID-19 is the government has changed its restrictions on 401ks and IRAs. Normally, if you want to pull money out of these qualified funds, you're gonna have to pay taxes and penalties. Right now, they've changed the rules. 0 penalties to access that money. And the taxes are not even due in the first year. They're spread over multiple years. So for some of you, 401ks, IRAs, or your parents' 401ks, IRAs, or a friend's or someone else you know, guess what? They can now take that money and put it to work. And what you're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to actually create consistently $500 a month of extra money per property that you buy. That's 12 extra stimulus checks of $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. You now can understand why by the time I was 26 years old, I had bought 25 homes, and those 25 homes were producing in excess of $10,000 a month. That gave me the freedom to really live life on my terms. So 401ks and IRAs are another option, or like I was just talking about with equity, the average American in this country right now, 56% of their home is paid off. They have an equity position of 56%. That means that the average house in America is half paid off. So they could get what is called a home equity line of credit. That means for free, they can go to the bank and say, I've got all this equity. Can you make it available to me so that I could use it? You would borrow that money at a really, really cheap interest rate, and this money would more than pay for it. So these are just a few of the ideas. Now, I know that some of you have got to be watching this and saying, Kris, I've heard of people having bad experiences with being a landlord, or they've had bad experience with bad renters. I want you to understand right now, I don't want you to be a landlord, nor do I want you to rent the house. Actually, what I want to do is show you what's available in this book that I wrote. In fact, I just got another shipment in. This is a book that you can have for free. It's called The Strait Path to Real Estate Wealth. And what it does is it outlines a strategy where on this house you would typically make a couple $100s a month. I'm going to show you how to get a 2x, meaning make 2 times as much money by doing what I call compassionate financing, or it's a strange word for lease option, where I actually put a family in the home and then help them actually buy the home. My first 25 homes were producing these stimulus checks versus that stimulus check, and that money came in regularly, religiously, every single month. The more homes I bought, the more financially free I became. And by the age of 26, I had the luxury to walk into my boss's office and basically fire him and say, I'm done, I'm out of here, thank you for the job. And now the last 14 years, I've been able to travel the world. I've been able to live in beautiful, multi-million-dollar homes. I've been able to give my children the education and upbringing that I want. And it's because I chose to be in charge of my financial well-being, not the government and not a boss, me. At the end of the day, what I am telling you is that you should entrust your financial future with only one person, yourself. And if you're saying, but Kris, in this short video, I don't know exactly how to do that. If you click the link below, I'm offering to give this book to you entirely for free. All you got to do is click the link, connect with me, and then I'll make sure that this gets shipped and sent to you so you actually have it in hand. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time today to watch this video. If you're not a subscriber, take care of that. I come out with videos designed to awaken your financial genius and give you the tools and resources where you can really control your own financial destiny. By the way, if you like the video, do me a favor. Will you smash the like button? It tells YouTube to share it with other people. And with that, I will see you tomorrow.